You reap what you sow, boys. You reap what you sow. Out here grabbing a few Sunday miles between church services. Don't be scared of the hills, brother. It's the best part of the run. Anyways, hope y'all have a blessed Sunday. Take it easy. Well, I ended up going for a 4-mile run today. And during that run, I was thinking a lot about pride. Now, pride is not something that I, try to exercise. If anything, I try to rid myself of pride. I don't think pride is a very desirable quality if, if you feed off of it. This is going to be a hard one to get across to you guys, and I feel like I'm walking a very thin line here. But to a certain degree, you have to be proud of who you are and what you stand for. During that run, I was thinking about how a lot of us have pride in the wrong things. We have pride over what job we have, over what kind of car we drive, how nice of a house we live in. And realistically, a lot of that just depends solely on luck, what kind of family you're born into. And unfortunately, we've all, been prideful and looked down on somebody. And I was trying to ask myself where that sort of pride comes from. Because you can't blame somebody for being born into the family or situation that they are. But if you're going to pride yourself on anything, it should probably be hard work. I think hard work in the right efforts and pointed in the right directions will humble you, if anything. Because if I believe I have everything I have, or if I think I have everything that I already need in life, if I see no reason to, work hard, if everything's always been handed to me and whatnot, then there's no need to work hard. But if you humble yourself every single day and put yourself through something that you don't want to do, there's a lot to gain in that. That run today was supposed to be an easy 2 miles. I got out there and it was windy, it was cold, and it sucked for the first part of it. But I got to thinking right around the 2-mile mark. I was like, I said, this sucks. But the truth is if I can come out here and make a decision like this every single day, there's no telling where I'll be at in 10 years from now. You have to think about your future self. And, I'm proud of that and proud of what I do. To a certain degree, I think pride can, make you push a little harder or make you train a little harder. I'm sure, we've all talked to prideful and arrogant people, and those people are stuck in their ways. You can't make them see things any other way. I don't think that's a good way to be. I try to be open to any suggestions. I'm all about improvement. But if you wake up in the morning early for a run and you're like, this is just going to be a 2-mile run, a pitiful, poor 2-mile run, very, very slow, and just down yourself, then you're probably just going to roll over and go back to bed. But if you have some degree of pride, you got to look at yourself in the mirror and be like, is this who I'm going to be today? It may not be 2 miles, but it's a step in the right direction. And, maybe one day, after enough of waking up and running those 2 miles, one day it'll be a 10-miler. The run was nice today, I gotta say that. I happen to have Instagram back on my phone right now. I usually keep it deleted just for discipline reasons and whatnot. But I ran across a post the other day that mentioned how when God is preparing somebody, he likes to keep them in solitude. And there was a bunch of different examples. When Noah built the ark, he was an outcast to society. Paul wrote most of his books and his chapters while he was in prison. When David was crowned king, he had to hide in the mountains because people were trying to kill him, and so he was hiding in caves and all that. But there was a bunch of more examples of that, and so I was sort of holding on to that during the run as well. You never know what kind of storm is brewing for tomorrow. But I'm going to sleep good knowing that I have spent every waking minute preparing myself to be the man to weather the storm. You have to prepare for the worst and hope for the best. I'm a big fan of solitude. I think you sort of find yourself in solitude and who you are and what you stand for. I come out here every day, work out by myself. Every time I run, there's no music, there's no podcast playing. It's just most of the time I'm running by myself. It's just me, the wind, and the sound of my footsteps, brother. It's a very peaceful thing. But I think hard work breeds excellence. I think you have to learn to love hard work. You've got to learn to love the process. I know everybody says that, but it's the truth. Like I said, I didn't want to go on that run today, and there was a hill I hit. I used to burn an 8:30-minute mile up that hill. I'm obviously not in great running shape now, and I averaged like a 10:20 through those 4 miles. But I got to the top of that hill, and my quads were burning, man. My calves were burning, and I couldn't sit there but laugh and say, good, good. That means they're being challenged. They're going to grow. That's the first step to adapting to something. Is first you got to go through it, man. I didn't really want to come out here tonight either. It's cold. I'm in long sleeve, a hoodie, and some joggers. It's definitely more comfortable inside. But this has something to teach you. When I say you've got to work hard every day, in the grand scheme of life, that does not mean absolutely, murdering yourself in the gym every single day. That does not mean, just wrecking your body. Just wake up and check the box. Today was the easy 4 miles, but it's better than nothing. And that was something I did not want to do today. But I did it anyways. And I guess that's sort of the lesson I want to give you guys tonight. And, people notice hard work. It's respectable, and not everybody has it. I'm not saying you should work hard to be noticed. I think it should just be a, standard that you strive for. But people are going to notice it. I'll actually give you all a quick, funny story real quick. So my first job, my first real job was at a Subway. And, we had this big corporate guy come in a few times. And after I'd been there for maybe a month or so, I guess, this corporate guy, he was super way up the chain. But he gave me a dog tag, and he said he gives that to employees that really stand out to him. And my manager at the time, he said, I've been in this business for 6 or 7 years, and I've never seen him give out one of those. If that tells you anything, I had been there a month and got one of those. I was closing that restaurant by myself. Usually there's 2 to 3 people working on a shift, but whenever I got hired, they were very short on people. And I'd say most people, don't know how to do closing things completely until after they've been there probably a month by themselves. It takes most people a while to learn how to run the register and all that. I was working the closing shift and closing by myself by my 4th night there. I think we closed at 7 at the time, and I wasn't getting out of there until 10:30 some nights. I closed by myself for 2.5 weeks straight. There was at some points there was lines so long that I couldn't see where it ended, and it's hard to tell people, hey, man, I can't make your sub. I should have been closed 30 minutes ago. And when you can't see the last person in line, it makes it all the more difficult. So there was times I was open for 45 minutes later than I was supposed to. And then, I'd be breaking a sweat, busting my butt, washing dishes in the back. I mean, I'd have a stack of dishes as tall as I am. Made for some very, very long nights, but it was noticed. And if you carry that sort of mentality and work ethic with you everywhere that you go, I think it'll take you to some pretty far places. Anyways, guys, I don't want you to take this wrong and think I'm some prideful idiot. I really, really try to keep my ego in check. I try to do everything that I can in order to keep myself from being prideful. But be proud of who you are. I know that I'm going to wake up tomorrow and that I'm going to work hard. I'm going to do something difficult, something uncomfortable, and I'm proud of that. That excites me. I'm ready for it. And I can say that I've been doing this for years now. Be the uncommon amongst the uncommon. That's a quote from David Goggins. That's really all I got for tonight. The quads are feeling a little burnt, so I don't know how big of a session I'll hit tomorrow, but I do know that I want to push some sort of weight, but I guess we'll see. And until then, I hope you guys have a good night, good day, whenever you're watching, and I will catch you tomorrow.